good with each other and looking after Adam properly. And he was calmer, and he started doing well at school. And we had a lot of support from our Kingdom Hall and good friends there. You know, the sort of people who never let you down. We were happy. We've lived in the truth.
And now, Mr. Henry, your son has leukemia, and you and Naomi are facing the ultimate test of faith. Is that how you'd put it?
Well, that's exactly what it is.
Can you tell the court why you and your wife and Adam are refusing a blood transfusion?
What you have to understand is that blood, it's the essence of what it means to be human. It's the gift of life that we should all be grateful for. Just as life is sacred, so is blood.
So why would Adam refuse such a gift from the doctors?
Mixing your own blood with the blood of an animal or another person is pollution. It's contamination. It's a rejection of God's gift. That's why he specifically forbids it in Genesis and Leviticus and Acts. And our son, Adam, he knows that God's word has to be obeyed.
Do you and your wife love your son, Mr. Henry?
Yes, we love him.
And if refusing a blood transfusion should cause his death,
then he'd take his place in the kingdom of heaven on earth that's to come.
and how will you and Naomi feel? You'll be grief-stricken, won't you, Mr. Henry? So this refusal is Adam's decision, not coming from you.
He's a very special person. He's profound. We couldn't change his mind even if we wanted to. I mean, no one could.
Mr. Henry, these books of the Bible you mentioned, at the time of these Iron Age texts, transfusion didn't exist. How on earth could it be forbidden?
It existed in the mind of God.
Many Jehovah's Witnesses accept blood products without compromising their faith. Isn't it the case that there are other options open to young Adam, and you could, if you wanted, play your part in persuading him to take them and save his life?
I don't know anyone who departs from the teachings of the governing body. The elders give us good guidance.
Are these the same strict elders who've been visiting your son every day to make sure he doesn't change his mind?
These are kind and decent men. The other churches have priests in the hospital too.
It's true, isn't it, that if Adam agreed to a transfusion, he'd be what you call disfellowshipped, cast out of the community?
Disassociated, actually, but it's not going to happen because he isn't going to change his mind.
He's in your care, and it's your mind I want to change. He's scared of being shunned, isn't that the term you use? The only world he knows would turn its back on him for preferring life to a terrible death. Does that sound like a free choice?
My lady, if you spent 5 minutes, just 5 minutes with him, then you'd understand that this is a very, very special person who knows his own mind.
Mr. Henry, have you told Adam that if he saved his own life and agreed to a transfusion, you'd still love him?
We've told him we love him.
Is that all?
It's enough.
When were the Jehovah's Witnesses commanded to refuse blood transfusions?
It's in Genesis. It dates from the creation.
Well, it dates from 1945, doesn't it? A committee in Brooklyn has decided your son's fate.
There are deep truths that weren't previously understood. The same is just as true in science.
Not much room for dissent in your church, is there?
You've probably no idea what it means to submit to a higher authority. We do so of our own free will.
When you were Adam's age, you wouldn't have known your own mind, would you?
He's lived his whole life in the truth. I didn't have that privilege.
You say life is precious. Other people's lives or just your own?
All life is a gift of the Lord and his to take away.
Easy to say, Mr. Henry, when it's not your life.
Harder to say when it's your own son.
Is masturbation a sin, Mr. Henry?
Yes.
And abortion, homosexuality?
Yes.
Is this what Adam's been taught to believe?
That is what he knows to be true.
Thank you, Mr. Henry.
He said, I'm my own man. I'm separate from my parents. Whatever their ideas are, I'm deciding for myself. I'm prepared to die.
Thank you, Mrs. Green.
There's a crucial difference between the right to assent to treatment and the right to refuse life-saving treatment. My lady, the law is clear. He has no autonomy in the matter until he's 18. Slice it as my learned friend may, he is not 18.
In so important a matter, there can be no sheltering behind the couple of months that separate him from his 18th birthday. It's clear that Adam has a full grasp of the religious principles on which his refusal of treatment rests. It is a patient's basic right, protected by common law, to refuse treatment. I submit my lady should not be tempted onto the dangerous ground of undermining so fundamental a human right and the precious dignity it confers.
Given the unique circumstances of this case, I have decided I would like to hear from Adam himself. I need to know if he understands his situation and what he confronts, should I rule against the hospital. I'll go now to Adam's bedside in the company of his guardian. I'll give judgment in open court when I return, probably after 7 p.m.
Court rise.